Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Free Lunch Comic News. Look who's back.
I'm back.
Tim Gaffey is back visiting. Just finished school.
Yeah, about 6 months.
6 months
now.
We've been working from home, fighting it off, fighting as the independent guy.
I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
My thesis comic came out, and I think it did pretty well for what it was.
I have a copy of it here
You do
somewhere.
have a copy of it here.
Do you guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Get it.
Let me check it out.
It should be on the shelf of honor.
It is. I came out initially, for the people at home who don't know, I came out with 40 issues. First thing, all of them signed. Matt, I'm not sure which number you got. It should say on the back.
8 of 40.
Yep, there you go. You got
Look at that.
8 books.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cover your face, but there it is. Look at that. Gorgeous full color book.
Yeah. And I'm deep into issue number 2 now.
And I've seen stuff from it. It looks even better.
I'm much more prouder with this.
Well, you're not at school. You're doing your thing.
I'm much more focused now. Because now I'm just in the real world. But
Look at that.
There you go.
Isn't that awesome?
Doesn't look too bad.
You can't read the personal note. That's for me.
Yeah.
So it's on the shelf of honor. Very limited.
And I'm
Amount
lettering
of
number
people.
2 right now.
You're lettering it
I
already?
was doing that before I came here.
That's awesome. So welcome. We're going to talk about the comic news for any kind of information that's come out recently, and then we'll do the convention scene for about a month out, and then we'll talk a little bit about the books that are going to be hitting the shelves in February. And then we'll talk about the cool things that are going on around here at Free Lunch. So, if you've noticed, we only do this once a month now because things are busy. And honestly, 2 episodes, I don't think we necessarily need 2 episodes to cover stuff. But we love that you're tuning in. And we've been uploading these. You don't have to watch us live, but we have the other computer kind of here so we can see any comments that come up. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see anything.
Let me check. No comments yet, but we do have a couple people tuning in. My friend Bella, she's a big fan of my book, at least.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is she a comic fan?
Not really, no. She's a Tim fan.
She's you're converting them one at a time.
That's the goal.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That is the way to do
Just
it.
gotta show them it's worth it.
That's right. So, before we get into the news, we'll take our first sponsor break, and we'll talk about Cliffs Cons. Cliffs Cons is the convention that happens at the Plainville VFW almost every month. The last one of the year is coming up at the end of this month. It'll be December 30th. And it's, like I said, at the Plainville VFW at 7 Northwest Drive. It is a nice little comic show. If you love comics, you want to go in and get some great deals. The vendors couldn't be any more friendly and accessible. I would say that it's probably somewhere around 30 vendor tables. They only charge $1 to get in. Cliff runs the kitchen, and he makes great food, and one of our jammers is in the kitchen with him. And he brings some every once in a while. We're lucky enough to get his homemade chili, which is really, really good. And he's a very talented young cook. But it's great. It's a great time, and it's totally worth going. And there's free donuts, and they do hourly raffles. Like, there's so much good. And we'll be doing the comic book shuffle is coming up in January.
Oh, nice.
You thinking about it?
Where I'm at the time.
That'd
be cool.
It's by invitation only. So I'm starting to put feelers out for talent that would be willing to draw or write and collaborate with someone they've never worked with before, and try to finish a 5-page story in 5 hours. And we judge it at the CliffsCon, which is a lot of fun, and it kind of shows you both sides of the table. So we love it here. It's hard. So there's kind of an application process. We don't just say willy-nilly, hey, come on and try this thing. We would definitely want to know and understand your ability and if you can actually handle it. But
You gotta want it.
you do have to want it, and it's your best foot forward, quality, professionalism, you name it. But it's a very, very fun thing. We live streamed it last year. People have been asking me to put together a video that covers the whole thing. Man, maybe.
That would be
Maybe.
cool.
It would be cool. I agree. So Cliffs Con, it'll be at the end of this month. It's at 7 Northwest Drive at the VFW in Plainville, Connecticut. And I know that he's thinking about the giant-sized annual, I believe in March, which is over in Bristol across from ESPN.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's a nicer venue. He gets a lot more talent in there. It's cool. It's a very fun show.
I haven't been to that one, but based on what the regular one is like, that sounds impressive.
It's a lot of the same vendors, but they
Yeah.
get more space, brighter. There's more creative talent, so it's cool. It's very, very cool. All right, so that's the Plainville CliffsCon. So, comic news. I know I don't want to go Conan heavy, but Conan's coming back. And they just announced, it hasn't even been solicited in previews yet, the Age of Conan book. It's going to feature Belit, like the first or the only true love that Conan had. The artists that do the art for Monstrous are doing the cover. I've seen teases of the skill set for the interior art. It looks very good. Very excited for that. And then there's also the Avengers book, No Road Home, number 6 is going to feature Conan.
Oh, really?
And Scarlet Witch.
Interesting. Are they trying to... Is that how they're bringing him back?
Oh, they're going to use him. So, like,
Yeah.
when they had him in the initial run, he was part of a lot of different things. So, like the Serpent Crown story that was tied to the Serpent Society that Captain America would fight, he was kind of part of that. They would use him in lore, and Red Sonja, they would use her a lot too. So it doesn't surprise me that they would use him again. So we were saying before we started, the White Knight story, they're going to revisit some of that stuff?
Yeah, they're starting a new White Knight continuation. I'm not sure if it's continuation or like a prequel, but they're expanding on the canon and the universe that they built.
Love that series. One of our students got that whole run, and I was like, I need that. If you're not familiar with Sean Murphy, is the guy who did The Wake.
So good.
So good. And it had great nods to the Batman animated series, which I thought was really tastefully done. I really loved how they handled the Harley Quinn thing.
Oh yeah, that was really interesting.
Like, I was reading through it, I'm like, man, this is fun. Yeah. Very, very fun.
And honestly, it's kind of a shallow thing to pick at, but my favorite Batman design, I think, is in that book. I'm a big fan of high-collar heroes, as I call them. They got the high collar, short gloves. I like that. It's kind of like an old-school Batman look with the short gloves.
Yeah. And he has a great handle on darks, and he has a great handle on movement. Oh, yeah. So very, very fun book to read.
It's very sharp. The art is very clean and sharp. Yeah. And you know what's going on.
A great read. A great read. Highest endorsement. I know we've talked about it on the news here. It's thrilling to hear that it's coming back. On the shelves today is Batman the Damned, Part 2. And we talked about that on the news months ago. And that created a whole ruckus. We didn't know how mature the content was going to be. That book has been reprinted already numerous times. So for the first, and it seems like there was a nice little gap between distribution. It's been a couple months.
Yeah, I read it. I downloaded it immediately when it came out that day. I woke up, downloaded it, read it. Didn't see what people were talking about until a little bit later when I went back. But I listened to a podcast and someone said that she went on and bought the first issue original print for like $150, and that was only like 2 days after it came out or something like that. Because
when they reprinted it, different.
Yeah,
they changed it. And from what I understand, probably the digital version through Comixology has been updated.
Oh, I'm sure they updated that as soon as they could.
Yeah, it's not going to have the full frontal on this one, but if it's met with any of the same kind of, it's fully painted.
It's gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous book.
Yeah.
So very, very exciting, and I think this is the finale. It is a two-parter.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think it is only 2 parts, but that hit the shelves today. So if you're excited for all that Batman goodness, badness, That hits the shelves today.
And for any who haven't read the first issue, it's featuring Batman, obviously. Constantine is in there, and so is Deadman. I'm a Deadman fan, so that was cool to see him show up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Any other news? Big news? I don't think so. It's kind of not fair that we're talking about Marvel and DC. Aside from that, I guess we could talk about this, like Munchkin Harry Potter for all the Harry Potter fans. There's going to be a gorgeous boxed set of this Explore Hogwarts as never before with Harry Potter Munchkin. So pretty exciting. I flagged it, but it's not a comic watch thing. But it looks really, really cool. And we have a lot of people around here that are, all of us included, right? Are we all Harry Potter nuts?
I mean, I like Harry Potter.
I haven't seen the new movie yet. I haven't either. But I really want to. So that's it for as far as. Well, we can talk about this. We just got the Captain Marvel and the Avenger preview.
Oh, yeah.
Just hit the YouTubes and Monday Night Football and all that, and it's pretty exciting. He's got my wife. My wife. We were sitting at home. She's like, "I want to watch Black Panther." Okay, and so going back and revisiting some of these Marvel movies, and it's getting the conversations to start. I will say this to you, Tim. I hope Captain Marvel doesn't rescue Iron Man from that abandoned spaceship. I hope it's somebody else. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
I hope it's somebody else.
I agree.
I don't want to. I know like 5 characters. I think it would be cool to have show up, but I don't even want to share them with you because I know you're thinking about a couple, and I know you're thinking about a couple. But Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Frank Castle rides up.
Hop on, buddy. Yeah, but it's just
with baby Thanos.
It looks so fun, and we're gonna get. Captain Marvel's only like 3.5 months away. Yeah. And this kind of makes me sad. The Avengers movie's not free comic day weekend again. It's the weekend before. Okay. It's the weekend before.
Yeah. It's even closer than that.
What?
The Aquaman movie.
Oh my God, that's right. That's like next week, isn't it?
Yeah, I almost wore my Aquaman shirt, but I didn't want to rub it in.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you're getting it. I'm just... Yeah. No, but did you do the advanced screening thing through Amazon?
No.
I know a couple people that are doing that.
That's cool.
Yeah, he doesn't act.
He really doesn't.
The more you see him, the more you're seeing him plugged into our pop culture more and more. It's like you are being yourself.
He's doing what The Rock does. He is him. And they're like, I'm going to buy you for a little while to be this person.
Yep.
And it seems to work.
That's a good life.
Yeah.
That's a good life.
If I could, I would do that.
Oh my God, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
You just got to be jacked.
Jacked all day.
Charismatic.
Throwing knives, being into that. Yeah, totally.
Samoan.
Samoan, oh my God, oh my God. So, we'll take this as an opportunity to take another break. We'll talk about... CT GamerCon, Mitch Halleck's Gamer Show, which is coming up in March. We're going to be there. We're going to run King of Monster Mountain at a big booth. He knows about the size of our in-house game board. That's where we design monsters and send them into battle. We're going to have a lot of fun. That is like the perfect home for that game. But we do the GamerCon every year, it seems, for the last couple of years, where we've done caricatures there, and we've sold some comics. Nothing too intense, but it's so great to see all of these computers and gaming systems and people going in and just kind of losing touch with reality for a while with all their friends. And I think there's role-playing gaming centers. Like, he's got that new convention center spot to fill. So I don't know if you've been to that new convention hall.
I'm not sure. Possibly.
You would know.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's bright. It's very exciting. So the Connecticut GamerCon, it's going to be at Mohegan Sun. It's going to be in March, and it's one of Mitch Halleck's shows. So you could call it the brother or sister show to Terrificon. And Mitch does a great job with that. So and it's an honor to be able to run King of Monster Mountain games. I'll be drawing people's monsters. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. Yeah. It's gonna be wild. I'm gonna have to print up a bunch of game boards and stuff. So CT GamerCon, it's on Facebook, and and I'm sure he's got the website up for Terrificon. You can even go to the Terrificon. I'm sure there'll be a link up at the website there. So check that out. March, and free lunch will be there. So we will talk about the convention scene for the next month. This is always very fun because I'll trip through and slip on something, but hopefully we'll make it all the way through. And then we'll take a quick break, and then we'll go through our picks for the month of February. We'll start off with this weekend, the Atlanta Comic Convention at the Marriott Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. That's December 16th. We've got the Annandale, Virginia show. It's Schaff Promotions Comic Book and Non-Sports Card Show. That's the same day as the CliffsCon. No, it's not. It's the Saturday before. That's December 29th at the Annandale Fire Station. Then we have December 30th at the Plainville VFW. It's the CliffsCon. It's only $1 to get in. 7 Northwest Drive, the Plainville VFW. Maryland, January 6th, Comic Book and More Show at the Red Lion Hotel, Baltimore North. January 11th, in Glendale, Arizona, the Ace Comic Con, Mark Torrent, looking at you. It's over at the Gila River Arena. I'm sorry, it's January 11th through the 13th. It's a 3-day show. Also, January 13th, DeLand, Florida. It's the DeLand Comic and Collectibles Show at the Volusia County Fairgrounds. That's January 13th. January 18th and 19th in Huntsville, Alabama. It's the Huntsville Comic Convention at the Low Mill Arts and Entertainment. We've got same days in New York, Schaumburg Center's Black Comic Book Festival. I've heard great things about this. I know Professor Foster attends that. Same days, January 18th and 19th. Also, same weekend, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's just go to Fort Lauderdale. Paradise City Comic Con at the Broward County Convention Center. The 18th through the 20th. Mark Torrent, your neck of the woods, Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's the Albuquerque Comic Con at the Albuquerque Convention Center. January 19th and 20th at Lakeland, Florida. It's the Central Florida Comic Con at the RP Funding Center. January 24th through the 27th. That doesn't apply because it's in France. So there's your screw up for the convention report. January 26th, Orlando, Florida. It's the Orlando Toy and Comic Con at the Holiday Inn Hotel and Suites across from Universal Orlando. That's how you give instructions on how to get to your show. Oh my God. Let's just go right there. What they should do is they should have their convention at night, right? Ooh, yeah. Or like do it early in the morning. You do the convention and hop over the park. Perfect.
I want to look at some collectibles. And then you're like, you know what? I want to go ride the Hogwarts Express.
What was cool about Universal is they used to have the superhero rides.
Oh, yeah.
And they would end in a comic shop. It was so cool. So, like, you'd go on the Spider-Man ride.
I was going to say the Spider-Man ride. Still kind of, but not quite. Comic book shop.
Right. Yeah, but you dump off and you could buy a graphic novel after your ride.
Oh, I wish.
Craziness. All right, January 26th in Commerce City, Colorado. It's the Minicon. No location given. So, if you're out in Colorado, you got to Google that one, kids. Same day, Frankfort, Kentucky. It's the Frankfurt Con at the Capitol Plaza Hotel. January 26th and 27th, Laredo, Texas. It's the STCE's Comic Con. No location given. You got to Google that too. STCE. 26th and 27th, Brooklyn, New York. PowCon. No location given. You got to look that one up too, kids. January 27th, Pasadena, California. It's the Pasadena Comic Con. No location given. January 27th, Yorba Linda, California. It's the California Comic Convention, or Cal Comic Con. It's at the Yorba Linda Community Center. And then we'll do one more. I would imagine it's going to be January 27th. We go back to the Plainville Comic Show. So that takes care of a good month and a couple of weeks of comic shows. So that is your convention report into the end of January.
Geekonomics with Mark and Brian, a weekly nerd podcast. Talk about all sorts of stuff covering all of nerddom. Brian, what is the main things we talk about on our show? List them off, Brian.
Movies, comics, TV shows, music, video games,
anything, big things every week, talking about big topics, big nerd stuff. It is Geekonomics!
You want to go first? Where were most of your picks? Are you living in here?
I had, 2 or 3 DC picks?
Okay.
2. I had 2 DC picks.
We'll alternate. We'll go as far as we can.
Yeah.
You want to kick it off, or you want me? I'll start first.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, because you know what? I don't want to go too heavy, but yeah, here we go. This is it. We've been waiting a long time. So now, last month we got to talk about the Conan the Barbarian book. Now we get 2 issues of Savage Sword of Conan. My God, I get to see the artwork on this stuff. I am losing my mind. I don't know if you caught that. Kevin Eastman, man. You know who that is? That's the Ninja Turtle guy. He's doing a variant cover.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
The art looks amazing. I'll say I saw it and I was like, is this new? Because this looks just like all the art before,
man,
but it's so good.
We'll see if we can get this up here for people to...
It'll take, I'll say.
But man, oh man, it looks so good. This is Ron Garney's work. Man, like, I don't even find it offensive that he's eating a shark here on the... I don't know if that's the cover for number 2 or if it's the interior art, but my God, I love it. Can't wait. And then you flip through, and then there's Conan number 3. Craziness. So, all right, your turn.
My turn? All right, that was quick. I chose Martian Manhunter number 3. If anyone... Oh, it's written by Steve Orlando, art by Riley Rossum.
You love this book. Wait, this is Martian Manhunter. This isn't the other
This is different. Martian Manhunter just started last week, and I read it, and there's something so interesting about it. It's really kind of this like cartoony noir book, like detective kind of thing, because that's what Martian Manhunter does. But it's another really interesting take on just like a superhero, and especially the fact that he's a Martian and he comes from a totally foreign world. They really kind of play up, and I think it's just really well done. Even just looking at the art style there, it gives you a good sense of what it's like. I hope you guys can see that on the video.
Yeah, I'm sure they can.
Yeah, but really interesting book right off the bat, and if you're a Martian Manhunter fan like I am, it's really cool to see more of him, because he hasn't been around that much.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, cool. Excuse me, my next pick is going to be Gunhawks for the you Western fans. David and Maria Lapham. Now, if you're not familiar with those names, that's the Stray Bullets. Dave Lapham is the Stray Bullets guy. And for them to collaborate on a Western book, for Marvel's 80th anniversary, we've set our sights on bringing home some old titles to the herd. And this is pretty exciting because they're bringing back like Marvel Comics Presents, and they got a couple of fun, like there's a cartoony book here, which looks so uncharacteristic of like what they would put out, but it just looks like so much fun. But yeah, so Stray Bullets, David and Maria Lapham for a bullet-riddled saga of violence, vengeance, and Western justice. Man, sounds good. 32 pages, but it's a one-shot.
That's too bad. I was gonna say
All of these are. All of these little investigations are just one-shots.
They're branching out, and I guess they're starting it just by putting out one shot.
Yeah, if it's a big hit,
sense.
if it sells like gangbusters, then maybe they'll come back with more.
I'll say I'm glad you chose that, because I have recently been playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
A lot of people play it.
Yeah, it's a big thing, and I've actually been looking for a Western comic, because that's just what I've been in the mood for. I was just like, oh, maybe I'll read some Jonah Hex, maybe I'll check out this other stuff.
Did you watch the movie The Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
I haven't yet, but I have it on my list. I'm gonna watch it.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It was fun.
Sad though. Your turn.
Should I just grab the one that was right after that?
You can, but you can stay in DC because I only got one over there anyway.
Oh, okay. We'll swap that after. My last pick, and this is a big one for me at least. Female Furies is coming out by Cecil. I'm not sure how
Cecil,
to.
sure.
Yeah. Castellucci.
Nice.
Art by Adriana Milo. Looks awesome. The The cover art is done by Mitch Gerrits, who...
Nice tribute to Kirby. It's got the Kirby vibe to it.
I'm a huge Mr. Miracle fan. Matt knows that. I have the whole 12-issue series that Mitch Gerrits and Tom King put out. Highly recommend it, but that's not what we're talking about right now. The female Furies are part of the New Gods. They're Big Barda is their leader. She's Mr. Miracle's wife, and they're getting their own series. So I'm super excited because I'm a big New Gods fan.
How much is that going to be?
That is $3.99.
And it's an ongoing, or?
It is one of 6.
One of 6. All right, so we'll have your jaunt. That's cool.
While Marvel is doing the one-offs, I've noticed DC doing a lot of 6-issue runs.
Okay.
Lately.
Well, Marvel does that, but they don't announce them that way.
Yeah.
They just cancel them after a while.
Like,
so
this
watch
is
out.
issue number 1. It's not.
Yeah, watch out, Conan fans. It's going to happen to us.
Yeah.
All right, cool. This is a just massive push. I love the True Believer line. So, like, last month it was all the Conan stuff. This month, for February, it's all Captain Marvel.
Makes sense.
$1 a book. $1 a book. So, this is even an annual here. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait. I will get every one of those.
Like old Captain Marvel.
Absolutely.
When it wasn't Carol Danvers.
That's right. Half of them.
I don't even know who those guys are.
Yeah, that's Captain Marvel. He
Yeah.
was the guy who died of cancer.
Yeah.
And, everybody went to his funeral and stuff. So there's going to be a nice balance of, Captain Marvel comic history here. So I'm super stoked for that. And I'll hand that over to you because I think you're the rest of those.
My pick in here. I had 2 picks from the Marvel. First one being Guardians of the Galaxy #2 here. For anyone who didn't read it, there was a book that came out as a 6-issue run for Cosmic Ghost Rider, which I was telling Matt before we started the show. I kind of just started reading because I thought it would be like different and weird, and it was. But I wasn't expecting it to be good, and then it was.
It was fun?
Yeah, it was super fun, and oh boy, I cannot remember the writer, but Dylan Burnett, I think, was the artist. And
Okay.
his style was super fun and kind of cartoony, but like that totally helped for what the story was. I won't go into too much detail, but it has Baby Thanos in it, and that's fun. But Cosmic Ghost Rider is coming back, which I'm glad he is in the new Guardians of the Galaxy series.
I think we might have pushed Guardians of the Galaxy 1 last month.
Well, there you go. Then,
That interior art is going to be insane.
oh, I'm sure. Just the cover is super cool in this. It looks all painted.
Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah,
that seems like it'll be a good one. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. My pick in the DC section, Absolute Day Tripper. This is not for the week of Pocket. This is a $100 book. This is a great comic series about mortality and mission. This is not a superhero book. It's by Gabriel Ba and Fabio Moon. It gets you right here. And you can find, obviously, cheaper versions of the trade, but this is 304 pages. This is an advance resolicitation. So this is actually going to hit the shelves again in July. But this is one of those books I give it the highest recommendation. Stories that have so much value. So much value. Like, I loaned it out to one of my students' parents, and they were like, "Oh, why did you give this to me?" I'm like, well, I wanted to show you there's so much more, than some of the random stuff that the like it's all the weird sci-fi theme. This is purely about mortality and mission and why are you here? One of my highest endorsement of a series. And I don't know if you know, on a related note, Umbrella Academy.
Oh, I was
picked
gonna
up
say.
by Netflix. Probably could have talked about.
Oh, I wasn't gonna
Umbrella
say
Academy.
that, but I was gonna say Gabriel Ba did the art for Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, yeah.
And really cool art.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great artist. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I got this.
Hey, all
one-off
right.
thing. It's a one-off Marvel thing, like we were just talking about. It's called Love Romances #1. Probably one-off, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's part of that threesome of single books.
Yeah, it's a collection, 32 pages. Looks like 3 different stories.
Look at those names.
Yeah, you got Gail Simone.
Dennis
She's pretty
Hopeless. Wow.
Yeah, it's got really cool art on it. I love the painted. It kind of looks like an old like poster or something for like a Marlboro ad.
Well, remember that it was these kind of books, like the Western and the romance books. Those were really what were making the Timely Comics money before the superhero age.
Yeah. So I picked it alone just for that because it looks really cool. Like it has a great style to it that I like a lot.
A little sci-fi edge there.
A little bit of sci-fi, but it seems like the focus of the book is that it's all romance stories. One is a sci-fi kind of one. One looks kind of like a time period one. One's about death. I'm not quite sure what that means, but
yeah, but they're not going to trick you here. Like
No.
you're not buying a superhero love story.
You're getting romance stories that are just pretty. I don't want to say straightforward, but you're getting a romance.
Yeah, they're not going to sell you something else. They're going to honor the theme. That's very cool.
Looks cool. I might check it out.
All right, so I'm jumping into the big catalog here. Now we're going to be trading this thing back and forth, huh?
Oh boy, I only got one in there. So.
You only have one?
Yeah.
Okay. This one's a cool, weird pick for me. Ditko's Monsters. This is from IDW Publishing. Writer Joe Gill, artist and cover by Steve Ditko. Two monsters of filmland battle for your hearts and minds in this terrific comic, Gorgo and Conga. This is almost 100 pages. It's only $10.
Nice.
Depending on who you want to win, you've got two different covers. I'm pretty excited. It's got that cool retro feel to it. I don't know if you can see that, but very, very different. You know, it's like King Kong and Godzilla for sure.
I like the option of covers where you can kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna honor this guy. It's gonna sit on my shelf this week.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the choose your own adventure, except it's like choose your own art.
Yeah, choose your own representative.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your pick now, or you want to wait a little bit?
I'll do my pick.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Well, that's right. You said it was in Titan, right?
Whoa,
So it's gonna
it's
be.
over there. Not the anime stuff.
It's all right. Anime's okay.
Anime's
Or manga.
okay. That's not what I chose. I'm doing Life is Strange number 4. It's an ongoing series from Titan. Writer Emma Vicelli.
Yeah,
Vicelli,
okay.
Vicelli. Artist Claudia Lenardi and Andrea Izzo. Life is Strange is a video game, and it's a very heavy story-driven game, which is pretty cool. And the player gets to choose how the story goes. This book, I guess, is expanding on the game itself, continuing after one of the endings. I guess they kind of just chose how the game ended in their canon, and they're going forward with that. Carrie, this is literally my girlfriend Carrie's favorite game.
And it looks like this series, it looks like they just flipped it, and it's not a limited series anymore. Now it's an ongoing.
Yeah, so this is just, for right now, it's just coming out. And it looks cool. The story is really interesting.
So the number one is hit the shelf last month.
Yeah. So this is, you can go out right now and start reading it. It's kind of a heavy, dark story about a missing girl, and this girl goes looking for her friend who's missing and discovers she has this weird power to reverse time. So it's about her going forward trying to investigate when no one else will, that kind of story. And kind of teens growing up in a little town, that kind of stuff.
Alright, cool.
But it's a really interesting story.
So Titan Books,
Titan.
They do great work.
They do.
I like
The
it.
Hercules series is nuts. I haven't read all of it, but
I'm sad to say, like that solo series that I pitched in the news got canceled.
oh yeah.
Didn't even make it to the shelves.
Wow.
Yeah, that's stick. My next pick, I know, so predictable. But I'm optimistic about it. It's the new Red Sonja series from IDW.
Oh yeah.
They just killed off the old series. Now they have Mark Russell. I've seen a couple previews online. It looks really good.
That's cool. The covers look cool at least.
Yeah, but that doesn't. It's Dynamite.
Well, that's
It looks intense. It looks very serious. Like it covers, right? Ready? This is cool, but I also don't like this. I feel like they take advantage of us as fans. Amanda Connor, Joe Lisner, Christian Ward, Frank Cho. There's a cosplay edition. There's going to be a Joe Jusko painted sneak peek edition. Like, really? And then there's going to be variant covers of those without logos and stuff. Mark Russell, who wrote The Flintstones, and Mirko Kolak from Conan bring a savage tale of metal and blood. A world conqueror possesses a massive army and a fatal prophecy. A bastard sorceress craves revenge, and a fearsome red-haired warrior is made wartime warrior for a homeland set for decimation. The preview stuff looks really, really good, so I'm optimistic about this one.
I'll say the Snagglepuss Chronicles, which Mark Russell also wrote. I think DC put that out, and
yes,
there's a good chance I'm wrong on this, but I might not be. I think it was Young Animal too.
Okay.
That book I heard is really good, really weird, but really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
My next pick. This is from the Cute Files from Boom Studios. Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock: The Rough Side of the Rock, written and illustrated by Jay Fosgate. 32 pages. It's 8x8, so it's not going to be your standard comic format. And it's going to be $10. This is an advanced solicitation. This isn't going to hit the shelves until April. Really, really cute. The annual Splish Splash Friend Bash at Fraggle Pond, and all of Fraggle Rock is invited. But when a few bullies decide to crash the party, Gobo, Boober, and other Fraggles will have to look out for one another and come up with a plan to help everybody get along. It just looks really, really cute. Very, very fun. And Archaea Boom, they do a great job with their product. We had a ton of the Labyrinth books come through here, and I just picked up a couple of the Jim Henson storyteller books. Oh, they're just so well done. So well done. So
I really like having, they have all this Jim Henson stuff there, but no, I think that's really cool.
I do too, especially the Dark Crystal. They're doing a lot of that. There's some more Labyrinth there. It's great. It's great. It's good that they have it's good that there's an interest there, and it's good that there's stuff coming out. Oh my God, is that it? Did we just go through all the
That
books?
might be it.
Oh my God, that's it. And then, we talked earlier about the Harry Potter Munchkin game, which I got flagged here. That's going to retail for $35. For those of you familiar with the Munchkin concept stuff, that's pretty much expected. So there's your picks for February. Anybody chime in for things that they're looking for?
Let's see. I don't think so. It seems like just people saying hi.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share the show. And what our job here, what our mission here is to help educate people to other things that are coming out that they may not expect. And these are comics, that, we'll jump in and kind of swim around in the back of these books to help you understand that there's more things available, and talk to your comic retailer, because they're going to know. We can pick up where we last left off. The comic book shuffle is coming. That's the 5 artists and 5 writers. We've got already people starting to eyeball each other and talking smack to each other around the office. We do it once a year in January. It's judged at the Plainville Comic Show. If it's something that you're interested in, don't hesitate to contact me. But it's 5 writers, 5 artists. We randomly pair them up. We don't pick the themes. The competitors write down the theme, and we draw the theme out of a hat, and that's the theme of the book. We just talked to Nikki today. She's going to be putting that book together from last year. That'll be available at the show. But all the artwork that they bust their butts on for 5 hours is up on display for you to vote. So we're very, very excited. Cliff loves it. I think the vendors enjoy it too. And what's great is you can invite your friends. You have them come in and vote for you. You're working on customers. You're trying to get them to vote for you. It's a very fun, hectic, exhausting weekend. We'll probably live stream it. I don't know. We did last year. Yeah, well, we can do it again. Other things that we're doing here, we're still doing the Monday Night Jams here at Free Lunch. We do the Kids Jam every Monday from 5 to 6, and the Adult Jam from 6 to 8:30. This coming Monday is the Hyborian holiday.
Oh,
this is my favorite jam of the year. It's the last official jam of the year. I have some great surprises. Some people know. Tim knows. There's a handful of other people know what happens. Everybody brings snacks. It's just a real festive jam for the end of the year. Christmas Eve is a Monday, so we're not going to be jamming that day.
Yeah.
But then we've been talking to the jammers about doing a New Year's Eve jam, and they're all for it. So I guess we're going to do a New Year's Eve jam. We'll still end at the normal time. Yeah. So everybody can go home, kind of early and not be part of the, you can still hit your parties or do whatever you need to do that night. Yeah. We're doing a class now, Sequential Arts. This is 1 hour every Thursday night from 6 to 7 o'clock, purely on comics. It's ongoing. It's not going to stop. We take on a different skill set every night. Last week we talked about silhouettes and using that as a storytelling device and how we can move the camera around so that we don't get lost in the silhouette, and talking about the contours and what separates the characters from each other so you don't get confused about who's talking and who's not or doing whatever. So every week we take on a new skill. It's very, very fun. You could come here and take that class, or you can actually take the class through my Patreon. And it's updated that night. We put that class up on Patreon every week. So we have customers that are watching that show. Plus, this is a good opportunity to talk about the Patreon site. Plus, I still do the eye candy shows, which are somewhere between 7 or 10 minutes per episode. And I basically talk them through a drawing that I'm doing, and then we'll release stuff. We got Sequential Arts, we got the Patreon site, which is under Free Lunch Studios. We've got the Thirsty Thursdays. D&D is still going strong. That's the first and third Thursday of the month. This Thursday is game night. So if you and Carrie are around, I know there's going to be it's going to be game night in here, and it should be pretty fun. The fourth Thursday is still the Writer's Circle. That's still going strong.
Nice.
And Chris Fizakis teaches that class. It ends up being 3 hours, and it's great. It's great. It's got me doing things that I didn't think I could do. Everybody's up in their game, so it's a great 3 hours. It goes by like this. You get to do peer review. There's some flash writing concept stuff. It's awesome. Other things. I'm doing a lot of stuff for Bulldog Marketing. I don't know if you've seen this. I'm back in the wrestling game again. I've been drawing wrestlers. He just debuted the other day the Becky Lynch 11x17 pinup. I just did Barbie Blank, also known as Kelly Kelly. Before that, I did Carmen Electra. And I'll be drawing Christy Hemme next. She's going to be coming to his next comic show. And I just did what's that girl's name? Madison Lintz from Walking Dead.
Oh right.
She was the little girl on Walking Dead. I drew her on Sunday. We put so much stuff up on YouTube now and on Facebook and on Instagram. We're really trying to up our game as far as the social media stuff. I want to get into the practice of putting Free Lunch comic related news like this on YouTube, because I think more people are watching YouTube now.
That's true.
I know more than Facebook. It's so weird now. You talk to people, all right, what social media platform are you on so that I can communicate news to you effectively? Oh, it's just so weird.
There's some crazy statistic of how much YouTube content gets uploaded every minute, and it's some million hours worth of.
Unbelievable.
It's insane.
Unbelievable.
So we're adding to it.
Yeah, we're adding to it. Yeah, ours is going to clog the toilet, and we're going to put ours right up there. I think that's all I have for Free Lunch comic news, right? Mm-hmm. The new theme for the studio, right now we're in the Hyborian holidays. January, I think we're going to do dinosaurs. We got a lot of people. We didn't get to do November because it was all Harry Potter stuff.
Right.
So we're going to push dinosaurs to the new year. I don't know. So you got anything? Anything big coming up?
No. My brother's getting married.
That's cool. Don't give out the address. We don't want to do that.
I will say, I not only put the first Kirak on Amazon, I have my 24-hour comic. I finally wrapped that up into a nice package.
Good.
So people can go out on Amazon and get a couple of my books.
What's the name of it on Amazon?
On Amazon, it's Otto and Hot Rod, or The Adventures of Otto and Hot Rod.
Okay.
But you can also search my name, Tim Gaffey, and that'll pull up all my books.
How are you spelling Otto?
OTTO.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Western Mass Zombies, who we're supporting here, they've got a game December 22nd, which I believe is a Saturday night, I think. Right up just south of Springfield. Great facility. You wouldn't know. You pull off one random road and then you're kind of there. We went to one of their scrimmages. It was so much fun. So much fun. I'm excited, and I've been talking to the owner about different things that Free Lunch can do to support that team. So we're really, really excited about that. And then I think the roller derby stuff is going to start up soon too.
Nice.
But I will say this: we're going to stay with the Marvel Universe theme. We're not going to reboot another concept. So I think that's too good of a theme to move on from right off the bat. And I really like the way they look. So I'm excited about that. The cards.
Yeah.
The cards.
Yeah, specifically.
All right.
We're not going to reboot the Marvel Universe.
No. And I don't want to pitch another concept yet. Not yet. This one's too good. We're going to sit on it for a while. All right. So, for Tim Gaffey, my name's Matt Ryan. Thanks for tuning in to the Free Lunch Comic News. We'll say a big hi and a wave to Mark Warnock, who will ultimately see this over at Geekonomics. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you share it and like it. And subscribe to the YouTube. I'm learning to say this. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll get to see more fun content just like this. All right, thanks so much, everybody.